What's going on, everybody? That's right, you read the title right. I'm talking about all the Supras that I've owned, from my first car all the way to the current car I have now that I showcase on YouTube and on Instagram. When I was 16 years old, my very first car that my parents bought me was a 1985 Toyota Celica Supra. It wasn't very fast, had a power sport button, like kind of like the new ones they have today, like the ones that you see in the MK5s. But it was an MK2, and I didn't know too much about it. Fast and Furious hadn't came out yet. The internet was still a baby, and so there was no way of really getting any real information unless you kind of like were in the know. And I couldn't ask like my dad or my uncles, because they really didn't know imports too well. And they were that American muscle, Mustangs, Chevelles, Camaros. And so the only way for me to get any information on my like sports cars, especially imports, was to go to the convenience store and know which convenience stores had the import tuners and like Super Street magazines, because they weren't everywhere. I did have to go to like Haltom City. Import Tuner was my go-to magazine in order to get information about cars and everything. Because mine was a little bit older, it wasn't really showcased that much, but I love that car very much. I cleaned it and washed it. I had girls hanging outside the windows and the sunroof, and it was a great car. Unfortunately, that had to come to an end once I was street racing with a Honda, and I went past the stop sign, and I wasn't quite quick enough to stop, and I ended up hitting a truck in the tail bed, ended up totaling my Supra, and I was heartbroken. Neither him or I suffered injuries. We were both fine out of that, but you know, my car was totaled. So I ended up graduating from high school in 2003. So, during that time, after my Supra, I ended up getting a 1999 Eclipse RS, and I was known around campus as the guy with the Eclipse. I went to the Army in 2003, and then in 2004 I got deployed to Baghdad, Iraq, and so I figured I'm not gonna be paying payments on this car, so I let it go. Of course, took all the valuable stuff off first, so I could resell it or put it on my wife's Mazda MX-6. Didn't get back home until 2006. By that time, I had a whole burning in my pocket from all the cash that I had, and I was out looking for another car. So the first thing I do is I get in my wife's car. She was driving an MX-6 at the time, and started going up and down looking for cars at car lots. Driving around and looking for a new car, we saw this black 1989 Toyota Supra. It was black. It looked fantastic. And I asked the lady, "Are you selling that car out there?" She said yes. Test drove it, and there was nothing wrong with it. One owner, low miles, so I nabbed it for like 2,500 bucks. That car was beautiful, rode smooth, perfect for a daily driver. Automatic. It was also non-turbo second ding, but hey, you know what? It's all right. Daily driver, got it all day. And so drove that for a while until one day at Blockbuster I saw a 1987 Toyota Supra with Tigra top turbo. Had to go see what's going on. Had California plates. Find the person who was inside. It was the employee, young kid. And so I told him about the Supra, and I thought it was pretty cool. And I asked him, "Hey, do you want to sell it?" Shot me down right away. That's all right. I'm very persistent.
So we read it up? Yeah. Well, actually, I was just looking. Oh, hey, terrific, terrific. That's what we're here for, Stan.
So every day I continue hounding him. "Hey, do you want to sell it? Want to sell it?" Go in there and run a video. "Hey, do you want to sell it?" No, 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 no. Until one day I decided to walk in there, cash in my hand. I put it in front of him. I was like, "Hey, I have $1,500 cash right here, right now. Do you want to sell your car?" His eyes widened up, and he was all like, "Meet me here tomorrow." Meet him there at Blockbuster the next day. Cash in hand. He was happy about it. Had the title. We did a quick bill of sale real quick, and that car was mine.
Supra.
Now I had two Supras. They're MK3s. I was very happy. Went ahead and tried it out. tiger top off. It was manual. It was everything I wanted in the Supra, and I drove that thing everywhere. It was a little beat up. It wasn't, you know, as pristine as my non-turbo one, but it was still awesome. So while on my way to military drill, I was in my black car, and there's this truck that pulled in front of me, whatever, but then its tailgate fell, and then a box rolled out. And so because of the suspension in the rear needed work, and it was very soft and it bounced everywhere, I did a quick turn. It bounced when I overcorrected. It bounced all over the place. I tried getting under control, ended up hitting somebody when it overcorrected, and I spun out and totaled that black car. So 2 Supras down, totaled. I was so upset, but still not as upset as my wife, who to this day still gives me crap about it. Remember that black Supra that you wrecked? Yeah, it was beautiful. Yeah, yes, I remember. I still feel bad about it. It still hurts to this day. Okay,
to this day, to this day.
You know, I have the white one left, and it's good. It's making turbo noises, and it's awesome. It's fun. And I'm racing this Porsche that came up beside me. He gives me the eye, and I give him the eye. You know, 3 honk, and we're gone. And so we're racing down the freeway, and at some point I start to lose speed, because he's beating me pretty good at this point, and I'm losing speed and losing speed, and I have it floored. And so I downshift, have it floored. It's not going anywhere. Compression. I'm losing compression. I'm losing speed. I was able to limp it back home and did a compression test. Blown head gasket. Man, I was so upset. Oh, instead of fixing it, because I know how much of a pain a head gasket would be, I was like, all right, whatever. You know, sell it, no big deal. Now, to this day, I am very upset that I sold it, because I see how much they go for now, and they go for, you know, $12,000, $20,000, and it's ridiculous how much these MK3s are going for nowadays. When I bought one for like $2,500 and $1,500, those were like throwaway cars back in the day, and now they are going for so much money, and I kick myself for not still having it. So at that point, I'm just like, okay, well, you know what? I'm done. I'm just not going to get another one, because I know MK4 is just out of my league, and they're not making Supras anymore. So that was it. I was done. I'm not going to have any more. All right, so end of my story as the sun starts to set in the background. So years go by. You know, I look at Supras all the time online now, and you know, I watch as the prices go up and become more and more unattainable for the average working guy, unless you're willing to sacrifice so much. But you know, 2023 was the year. I was in Florida helping with Hurricane Ian and the recovery down there with work, and I get a phone call from Fort Worth, Toyota Fort Worth, and they knew that I had kind of threw my hat in there to get one, and I was in the middle of deployment, and they called me and said, hey, we got one. It's from the Texas State Fair. Yeah, I know it's not red like you want it, but it's white. You should really take a look at it. I told them I'm in Florida right now. Send me pictures. Send me pictures. Man, come on. I fell in love. You know, how could I not? As soon as I got back from deployment, I went ahead and took a look at it. I was pre-qualified already. That's the only way they could let me test drive the car. So I test drove it, and I couldn't say no. But I did have my reservations because of the price. Now, they did work with me because it was showcased at the Texas State Fair. They did knock off some price because the seats were a little warm from people getting in and out of it, looking at it, and it had 50 miles on it from being driven from Dallas to Fort Worth. So they knocked off a price, and they gave me a really good deal. I paid under MSRP for this GR Supra. What a deal, you know, because usually you get lots of markups, and to get it right at MSRP or under MSRP, that's great. And later on, I'll go into a video of how much I actually spent on my Supra. But I love my Supra. It's fast, it's fun, it's back. Yeah, I get a lot of BMW jokes, got a lot of Supra hate, BMW hate, you know, but this is Toyota. It's a BMW engine, but Toyota had their finger in it. It proved it more than what BMW could have done. It's more reliable. Its power plant is unbeatable. You know, I've raced my fair share of cars, other cars that are around the same comparable price, and this thing just eats lunch all day. All right, and I love it. Now, I am trying to look for that MK4. It's my dream car. Of course, I'm never going to stop. That's my goal. That's my car. I don't care if they say this is faster or what have you. MK4, my dream car, my poster car, and I won't stop until I get there. If you made it this far, hey, thanks for listening to my dumb story. You know, I know we kind of like hit a standstill with the Supra right now on modding it and everything, but I'm not made of money. I have a family, car payments, have other things going on, house and everything. But, you know, hey, thanks for supporting me. Hit a thumbs up, like, comment, subscribe.